It's movie time. Yes. It's happening. Hey everyone, it's the Underground here, and welcome to my thoughts on the Sonic movie. I saw this film 3 times in theaters, and I had a great time watching it all 3 times. I should say this right now, I really like this movie. There were a few flaws, but it is a really good movie. I have some notes here, so let's start with this thing. Because there's a lot to talk about here, but before I start this actual review, let me give some history behind this movie. Let's be real here, this movie has been in development hell for a long time. The movie was announced back in 2013 by Sony. It was going to be a live-action hybrid, like the Chipmunks and Smurf movies and so on. It was rumored to be out around 2016. Well, that didn't happen. Eventually, Sony gave the rights to Paramount, and from there on, it got started. One of the first rumors about the movie was Paul Rudd was going to be the star of the film, but that didn't happen. Then it was rumored that Jim Carrey was going to be playing Eggman in the film, and of course, it really sounds like this was fake, but it happened, and I'm glad it did. Eventually, in 2019, stuff about the movie really started to come out. There were leaks of Sonic's design, story was being told to us, and so on and so forth. And then we got the first trailer, and man, what a time to be on the internet. As you can imagine, the internet blew up with rage, and yeah, I can see why. But yeah, this was such a big deal. The movie was even pushed back a few months later of release, so they could work on a new look for Sonic to make the fans happy. And thankfully, the waiting paid off. But when we found this out, how Sonic was going to look, we were all really happy. And we knew it wasn't fake. This was how Sonic was going to look, and we were all very happy. And we knew it wasn't fake when the second trailer came out. When the second trailer came out, everyone was very impressed, and rightfully so. There was an actual hope that this movie was going to be good, and when people saw the movie a few days ahead of time, news quickly spread, and thankfully, it was good. So yeah, that was the history of the movie. So, let's start this review. First off, the story. And don't worry, this is a spoiler-free review. The story is very simple. Sonic comes to our world because in his world, there are bad guys that want his power, so he spends the next 10 years in Green Hills, Montana, living a happy but very lonely life. And because he's so lonely, he gets mad and somehow makes a giant shockwave which wipes out all the power in the world. The military sees this as a threat, so they get Dr. Robotnik to come in and see what he can do. But when Sonic tries to get away, one thing leads to another, and you have a buddy-buddy road trip movie. When it comes to the story, the best way I can describe it is playing it safe. But that's not a bad thing. The movie is what you expect from a movie like this, with a few cliches. But thankfully, it's not annoying. It's an origin story, I might add, and I'm very happy they went with this idea. Because I think for fans, it's about time we got an origin story for Sonic, and because a new decades of kids should see how Sonic became, well, Sonic. I should also say Jeremy Johns. I hope I said his name right. Nice. If not, then sorry dude, my bad. But hey, you're still awesome-tacular. Anyways, in his video, he said if this movie had the original design, it would not have worked, and I agree. I'm going to go into the emotion and other stuff in a second, but I'll say this in the review later. But he is right. If this Sonic was the one in the movie, then this movie would have sucked. Thankfully, the actual looking Sonic makes this movie better than it should have been. With that said, let's get to the cast of this movie. First off, Sonic himself. Ben Schwartz does a great job voicing Sonic. He has the charm and likability of the character, but at the same time, he really brings the emotion and the realism to him as well. This is not the exact Sonic from the games. When you think of Sonic, you think of cocky, arrogant, no one can stop me type of guy with attitude. With this Sonic, he can be cocky, but he knows he's not perfect, and he knows he's flawed, and he admits that. Sonic is really emotional in this film. Because he's been hiding away for 10 years, you can really feel the sense of loneliness and isolation he's going through, and that he needs to keep himself safe, but he wouldn't mind having a friend. This is the most realistic version of Sonic that we've gotten, and I love that. Sonic has real feelings and real emotion here, Not that the games didn't, but here it just feels more realistic. And again, I love that. Ben plays Sonic like a kid, which in a way, he is. He doesn't know a lot of things, and when he sees or hears about something, and he gets all excited about it. And it's a great idea for this character. Next is Tom. Tom is one of Green Hill's policeman officers, but he wants to challenge himself, or save a life in this case. So when he meets Sonic unexpectedly, he has a chance just to do that. Tom is a good character, and he is really relatable. We all have big goals in our life, and a dream to do them, and that's what Tom wants, and I think he did a good job with it. And unlike Smurfs, he actually gets into the action and actually helps Sonic out. He is a good and enjoyable human character, and he works well with what he's given. I mean, it's better what Hop ever was. Although I kinda like that movie. Don't kill me. Next up is Robotnik. What can I say that hasn't been said? Jim Carrey is awesome as Eggman. Every time he is on screen, he steals the show. It's 90s Jim Carrey at his best. Robotnik is a character done right here. He thinks humanity is worthless, and that his robots are better in every way, as he should. Jim plays him like he's better than everyone, and gets revenge on people that wrong him. Like in this case, he wants Sonic because he wants to see what makes him tick, and he wants Tom because he punched him trying to get away from him. It's a great way of showing how mad can turn to crazy, like Eggman. I think they did a great job here. There were other characters too, like the townfolk in Green Hills are memorable. The wife, while not fully developed, is still a nice character, but she could have had a little more to her character, like taking care of animals or humans or, you know what I mean. I really wish I had a little more to do with her character, but besides that, I like the cast. Feel good and fun, and they get their jobs done well. Next is the music. The beginning sets the tone perfectly, and my god, it is great. The second the movie starts with the rings and the music, I admit I started crying tears of joy. The music is catchy, emotional, intense, everything I want a Sonic soundtrack to be. And thankfully, it's just that. Just like the games, the movie continues the trend of good music for Sonic. I've listened to the soundtrack a few times now, and it is great. Give it a listen if you get the chance to. Next are a few things I like. There's some Easter eggs done that fans will enjoy. I know I definitely did. The beginning is one of my favorite beginnings in movie history. One day I'll do a video explaining why. The way they did the rings was really cool, and the jokes were really funny. The action is a blast. The climax is one of my favorites in the movie. Just the third act alone is great. There were some little things too, but there were two things I want to talk about. Going back to the old design for Sonic, yes, it was not good, but I thought it was interesting, but it would have not worked in this movie. Because the creepiness of it, the friendship between Tom would have not worked. Same for the kiddie nature of Sonic. It would have been really unnatural to see this thing act like that, but because of the Sonic we got, it works much better. It's the same with the friendship of Tom. These two go great together. The bond and friendship that goes throughout the movie is really good. You really feel it. Would have been really weird if it was the old design. But with the new one, it works 100% better. It's believable, well developed, and just good. And that's the best way to describe this movie. It's good. The jokes are fine. The special effects are great. Everything about Sonic is great. It's just a good movie. It took something that would have sucked and made it good, and I thank everyone that worked on it for that. This movie could have been what the first trailer showed, and thankfully it was the opposite. While yes, there were a few flaws for sure, it is still a good movie, and thankfully everyone agrees. The movie made back its budget twice, and it could have done more if the world wasn't in a crisis right now, but it did. And well, we are getting a sequel, so that'll be fun. Until that happens, I am happy to say that I give Sonic the Hedgehog the movie a 7.8 out of 10. It's a fun movie, and it's a fun movie that's not only based on a video game, but a beloved character as well. I don't know what's in Sonic's future, but when it comes to his movies, I am totally confident that they're going in the right direction. I can't wait to see what they do next. Plus, I hope more video game movies will be made by fans in the future, because this movie became something we never thought would happen, but I'm happy it did better than we thought. What else can I say? It's a good movie, and it's one I cannot wait to watch more times in the future. What else can I say? We gotta go fast. So have you seen the Sonic movie? If so, what'd you think about it? And where do you want Sonic to go from here? Put your thought in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Stitch Underground, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, everyone.
This is my power, and I'm using it to protect my friends.
Let's go!
So, you're supposed to be Tom's best friend that he won't shut up about. Well, I don't see the appeal. That is very gross.
Let's go.